The idea of Mat Armstrong rebuilding a Pagani has recently caught the attention of car fans around the world. This excitement started when he posted a video that hinted at something unusual, rebuilding a Pagani from a dust particle. While this phrase is clearly a joke, it has made people curious. Many fans are now wondering if he is finally planning to take on one of the most difficult car rebuilds ever. This situation also reminds fans of something that happened years ago. Back then, Mat tried to buy a crashed Pagani that had a special connection to Lewis Hamilton. The car was believed to be a Pagani Zonda that had been driven or owned by the famous Formula One champion. For Mat, this was not just another project. It was a chance to work on a rare and meaningful car. However, the deal did not go through. The reasons were never fully clear, but the opportunity slipped away at that time. Mat's YouTube channel was much smaller. He did not have the same level of money, tools, or connections that he has today. Rebuilding a Pagani back then would have been extremely difficult, maybe even impossible. But things have changed a lot since then. Today, Mat is known for taking on very challenging projects and completing them successfully. One of his biggest achievements was rebuilding a Bugatti Chiron. This is one of the most complex cars in the world. Many people believed it could not be rebuilt outside of the official factory. Even experts thought it required special equipment and factory support. But Mat proved them wrong. He showed that with skill, patience, and the right team, even a car like the Chiron can be brought back to life. Because of this success, fans now believe that a Pagani rebuild is possible. However, rebuilding a Pagani is very different from working on a Bugatti. Pagani cars are known for their extreme attention to detail. They are built using advanced carbon fiber structures and have very unique designs. Every part is carefully crafted, and many components are made specifically for each car. Another challenge is that Pagani produces very few cars. This means spare parts are extremely hard to find. Unlike more common cars, there is almost no aftermarket support. Even getting basic components can be a big challenge. Although Pagani cars use engines from Mercedes-AMG, which helps a little, most of the car is still very difficult to repair without factory help. Despite these challenges, the idea of a Pagani rebuild is exciting for viewers. People enjoy watching difficult projects, especially when they seem almost impossible. That is part of what makes Mat's content so popular. His videos are not just about fixing cars. They are about solving problems and proving that things can be done. Another reason for the excitement is how deeply fans are connected to his content. Some viewers even joke that they ignore their responsibilities just to watch his videos. This shows how strong his audience engagement is. A Pagani project would likely attract even more attention and bring in new viewers. However, there's also a practical side to consider. Right now, Mat is already working on several major projects. These include cars like the Ferrari 296 and the Lamborghini Huracan. These builds are not yet fully complete. Adding a Pagani project on top of all this could create too much pressure. It would require a lot of time, money, and focus. And so the big question is whether this is the right time for such a project. On one hand, Mat now has the experience and support needed to take on a Pagani. On the other hand, the risks are higher than ever. A small mistake on such a rare car could be very costly in the end. Everything depends on opportunity. If the right damaged Pagani becomes available at a reasonable price, Mat might decide to go for it. It may not be the same car he missed in the past, but could still be the perfect chance to finally complete what he once started. Whether it happens or not, one thing is clear. Mat Armstrong has reached a level where even the most difficult car rebuilds no longer seem impossible. And if he does decide to take on a Pagani, it could become one of the most exciting automotive projects ever seen on YouTube. The possibility of Mat Armstrong rebuilding a Pagani continues to grow as fans analyze every hint he shares online. After his success with the Bugatti Chiron, many believe he now has the confidence and experience needed for an even bigger challenge. A Pagani is not just another car. It represents art, precision, and extreme engineering. Models like the Pagani Zonda are rare and highly valuable, making any rebuild risky but exciting. Fans are especially interested because of the past connection with Lewis Hamilton and the missed opportunity years ago. That unfinished story makes the idea even more powerful today. At the same time, there are real challenges, including limited parts and complex carbon fiber construction. These factors make a Pagani rebuild one of the hardest tasks in the automotive world. Still, Mat has shown that he can handle pressure and prove doubters wrong. If the right opportunity appears, he may finally take the step everyone is waiting for. And if that happens, it could become one of the most talked about builds on YouTube. Even though the excitement is high, timing will play a very important role in whether Mat Armstrong actually takes on Pagani project. Right now, he is already busy with multiple complex builds, including the Ferrari 296 and the Lamborghini Huracan, which still need final work and testing. Taking on Pagani at this stage would mean adding pressure to an already heavy workload. Unlike most cars, Pagani models require extreme care, especially because of their detailed interiors and delicate carbon fiber structure. One small mistake could lead to very high costs and delays. However, Mat has built a strong team and network over the years, which could help manage such a difficult project. His access to rare parts and skilled specialists has improved a lot compared to the past. This gives him an advantage that he did not have before. Fans also continue to support him strongly, which makes risky projects more possible. In the end, it may come down to whether he feels ready to balance all these challenges at once. Another important factor is the availability of the right car at the right time. Pagani produces very limited vehicles, so finding a damaged one for sale is extremely rare. Most owners keep their cars in perfect condition, and even small accidents are not always made public. This makes the search for a suitable project much harder than with more common cars. Even if a crashed Pagani does appear, the price could still be very high, making it a risky investment. However, rare opportunities do come up, especially when high-performance cars are driven hard. For Mat Armstrong, the challenge is not just finding a Pagani, but finding one that makes financial and technical sense to rebuild. If he manages to secure such a car, it would open the door to a completely new level of content. Fans would get a behind-the-scenes look at one of the most exclusive machines ever built. That kind of project could redefine what is possible in independent car rebuilding. That, if such a project begins, it would also change how people see independent car builders like Mat Armstrong. Until recently, many believed that only manufacturers could properly rebuild high-end hypercars. But after proving his skills with the Bugatti Chiron, Mat has already started to challenge that idea. A successful Pagani rebuild would push that belief even further and show that skilled creators can match factory-level work. It would also inspire other builders to attempt more advanced projects. At the same time, such a move could attract attention from major car brands, including Pagani itself. Whether that attention would be positive or negative is uncertain, but it would definitely bring more spotlight to his work. For viewers, this means more detailed and exciting content that goes deeper into the world of hypercars. In many ways, this is not just about one project, but about changing the limits of what independent builders can achieve. In the end, the decision will come down to risk versus reward for Mat Armstrong. A Pagani project could bring massive views, new subscribers, and global attention, especially because of the brand's prestige and rarity. At the same time, the financial risk will be very high, and any major setback could slow down his entire workflow. Cars like the Pagani Huayra or the Pagani Zonda are not just expensive to buy, but also costly to repair and maintain. Every part, from the body panels to the smallest interior detail, requires precision and care. Still, Mat has built his reputation by taking on challenges that others avoid and turning them into success stories. This is what keeps his audience engaged and excited for what comes next. If he decides to move forward, it won't just be another build, but a defining moment in his career. And whether it succeeds or fails, it will be something people will talk about for a long time, and no matter what happens next, the story itself has already captured the imagination of car fans everywhere. The idea that Mat Armstrong could finally return to a missed opportunity and turn it into a success is powerful. It shows how growth, experience, and persistence can change what once seemed impossible. The connection to Lewis Hamilton and the earlier Pagani story adds emotional weight to the situation, making it more than just another project. It becomes a full-circle moment that people want to see completed. At the same time, the mystery around whether this will actually happen keeps viewers engaged and watching closely. Every small hint or post now feels important and meaningful. This level of anticipation is rare and shows how strong Mat's influence has become. Whether the Pagani rebuild happens soon or later, the excitement around it is not going away anytime soon, and as the speculation continues. Every move made by Mat Armstrong is being closely watched by fans and critics alike. Even a small hint or repost can spark major discussions across social media platforms. This shows how much influence he now has in the automotive world. A few years ago, such hints might have gone unnoticed, but today they can start global conversations. The possibility of a Pagani rebuild has become more than just an idea. It is now a topic that people actively debate. Some believe he should wait and finish current projects first, while others feel this is a perfect moment to take the risk. This mix of opinions keeps the conversation alive and growing. It also builds even more anticipation for whatever he decides to do next. In a way, the journey toward a possible Pagani project has already become a form of entertainment. And until a final decision is revealed, fans will continue to watch, wait, and speculate looking ahead. The next move from Mat Armstrong could define the direction of his channel for years to come. If he chooses to focus on a Pagani project, it would likely become one of his most ambitious builds yet. On the other hand, if he decides to delay or skip it, fans may still respect the decision, knowing how demanding his current workload already is. The balance between creativity and practicality is always difficult in projects like this. With cars such as a Pagani Huayra and Pagani Zonda involved in discussions, expectations naturally rise. These machines are not just vehicles. They are symbols of extreme engineering and craftsmanship. That is why any attempt to rebuild them carries so much weight. Whatever happens, this moment has already strengthened Mat's position as one of the most daring automotive creators online. And for fans, the waiting itself has become part of the experience, making the story even more engaging over time. The idea of Mat Armstrong possibly rebuilding a Pagani has created a lot of excitement in the car world. Fans started talking about it after he posted a video that hinted at rebuilding Pagani from a dust particle. Even though it was likely a joke, it quickly turned into a serious discussion online. People began wondering if he is planning his next big challenge after completing some of his biggest builds. This kind of attention is not new for Mat, as his projects often attract global interest. His ability to take damaged supercars and bring them back to life has made him one of the most followed car creators on YouTube. Now, the idea of him working on Pagani feels like the next step in his journey. This excitement also connects back to an older story involving Lewis Hamilton and a crashed Pagani. Years ago, Mat tried to buy a damaged Pagani Zonda that had a special history. It was believed to be connected to Lewis Hamilton, which made it even more valuable and interesting. However, the deal did not happen. The car slipped away before Mat could secure it, and that moment stayed in fans' memory. At that time, his channel was still growing, and he did not have the same resources he has today. Many people believe that if he had gotten that car back then, it would have been one of his most famous builds. This missed opportunity is now becoming part of the current Pagani discussion. Since then, Mat has grown massively as a creator and builder. One of his biggest achievements was rebuilding a Bugatti Chiron, which is one of the most complex cars in the world. Many experts believe that such a car could only be repaired by the official manufacturer. However, Mat and his team proved that wrong by successfully rebuilding it outside the factory. This project showed his skill, patience, and ability to solve very difficult problems. It also changed how people see independent car builders. After this success, fans started believing that even more extreme projects, like a Pagani rebuild, might be possible from the Pagani, however, is a completely different level of challenge. Cars like the Pagani Huayra and Pagani Zonda are known for their extreme attention to detail. Every part of the car is carefully designed and hand-built. The body is made from advanced carbon fiber, which is both strong and very delicate. Unlike more common cars, Pagani vehicles have very limited production, which means spare parts are extremely rare. Even small repairs can be very difficult. Although they use engines from Mercedes-AMG, most of the cars still require special knowledge and factory-level craftsmanship. This makes any rebuild project very complex and risky. Despite these challenges, fans are still excited about the possibility. One reason is that Mat has built a strong reputation for doing the impossible. His content is not just about fixing cars, but about telling stories of struggle, problem-solving, and success. Many viewers feel connected to his journey because they see him take on projects that seem too difficult at first. This emotional connection is one of the main reasons his audience keeps growing. A Pagani rebuild would not just be another project. It would be a major event in the automotive YouTube world. It would attract attention from both car fans and general viewers around the world. However, there are also real concerns about timing and workload. Right now, Mat is already working on multiple major builds, including other high-performance cars. Adding a Pagani project on top of everything could create serious pressure. It will require time, money, focus, and a very skilled team. While he now has more experience and better support than before, the risk is still very high. That is why the final decision is not simple. It depends on whether the right opportunity appears, and whether he feels ready to take on such a massive challenge. Still, one thing is clear. If a damaged Pagani ever comes into his hands, it could become one of the most watched rebuilds in automotive YouTube history. Another important point in this discussion is how much influence audience expectations now have on Mat Armstrong. In the past, creators would choose projects quietly and only reveal them once work had started. Today, every hint or small post can create huge speculation online. Fans now actively predict what he will do next, and the idea of a Pagani rebuild has become a major part of that conversation. This kind of attention can be both helpful and challenging. On one hand, it builds hype and keeps his channel growing. On the other hand, it can create pressure to take on bigger and riskier projects just to meet expectations. That is why timing and planning are so important for his next move. At the same time, the automotive world itself adds more weight to the situation. Brands like Pagani are known for producing some of the most exclusive cars ever built. These vehicles are not just expensive, they are also considered works of art. Because of this, any repair or rebuild attempt gets serious attention from enthusiasts and experts. If a project like this were to happen, it would likely be discussed across car communities worldwide. Even a single damaged car can become a global talking point when it belongs to such a rare brand. This makes the idea of a Pagani rebuild even more powerful and high profile. Another factor is the emotional side of the story. The earlier missed chance